Okay, so just want to set up a little bit of context for y'all. So I've only seen about 6 episodes of Game of Thrones. So I'm a relatively new fan of the show. I've been enjoying it, and I was very curious to see what I would feel about the show as somebody that has seen a little bit of Game of Thrones, but know about everybody that dies, and then the finale of Game of Thrones. So, going into this prequel, I thought I was going to be lost, but I think as somebody that has barely seen a couple of episodes of the show, I don't think you're going to be lost in any shape or form. I don't read any books. I'm very limited to what I read. The only things I do read are either Playboy, Sports Illustrated, or the Victoria's Secrets catalog. That's as far as my reading goes, and sometimes I'll throw in a little bit of Captain Underpants in there just for having a little bit of nostalgia. Alright, so getting into my thoughts on this show. I really enjoyed it for what it was. It takes place about 172 years before Dany takes the throne, and I, for the most part, really enjoyed this episode. It was very surprising at how much I really enjoyed it. The cast is fantastic. The people that stood out to me were Melly Alec, mostly because she looked like a cross between Anya Taylor-Joy and Emilia Clarke. I thought she was fantastic in the show. You don't get to see a lot of her in this first episode, but whenever she was on screen, she was a strong presence. This is the 4th time that I've seen Matt Smith in anything, and 2 of those times were Terminator Genisys and Morbius. He is just another dimension in this episode. He was vicious, he was intense, and I really liked his performance in this. I think it fits him very well, and I can't wait to see what happens to this character. But I thought Patty as King Viserys was fantastic, and a couple of moments in this episode that really highlight how fantastic this show is going to be. There were such subtle moments, but even the score in this show is fantastic. I think it is one of the best scores that I've heard on TV. I thought it was just fantastic. The cinematography keeps it at that cinematic level that Game of Thrones does. It's a little bit less raunchy than I actually anticipated. I thought we were going to go full raunch, but there's not a lot of TNA in this episode. There's just one scene. Great abs on Matt Smith, my guy. I thought everything in this episode laid the groundwork for what we're going to be expecting. I love the way the dragons look. I am a big fan of dragons, so that's why I am always rooting for Daenerys in the show, knowing that what happens at the end. But the dragons in this episode look fan-freaking-tastic. They look vicious and they look strong. It is a bit of a slow burn at first, and I think for the most part that middle section in that episode is a little bit stale and it doesn't work for me all too well. But once we get to that ending, I thought it was just fantastic, and it really does do a really good job of setting that little groundwork for what the season is to come. And I'm really excited to see what's to come, because this show so far, as my first impression on this episode, I thought it was fantastic. I think Game of Thrones fans are going to be happy with this episode. I think it looks fantastic, and I am seriously excited to see what's to come. But what are your thoughts on this episode? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did it disappoint you? Drop those thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this review, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on more reviews. Click that bell notification so you get notified every single time a video pops up. And I will see you guys on the next one.